Right, so I have returned once again today to actually deliver the winner of the first poll I ran on both YouTube and actually also on Twitter as well. Sure, good to go as well. So anyway, pick up so slightly. So yes, actually have read to actually cover Dorohedoro, the actual anime series done by Studio Mappa, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this is one of those ones I've always wanted to watch because it was stuck in Netflix jail for like a long ass time. I completely forgot to actually watch it. And I thought, you know what, I'll include it into the poll I'm making on both YouTube and Twitter, actually see what actually to gauge what animes you'd like me to cover. In that poll was hello. In that poll, how are you doing? In that poll was Mamaru Penguin Drum, Dorohedoro, I don't remember now. What was the other two? Well, the other two. Other three, I think, actually. Was it one of them BNA and Miss Kobashi's Dragon Maid? Oh, and Zetsubo Sensei as well. And this one actually came out on top. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones I've been wanting to watch for a very long time. I actually read some of the manga itself already, so I'm actually kind of sort of familiar with this whole entire series. I read it mainly because Q Hayashida, very much the queen of the world, also was the assistant, if I remember correctly, for Tsutomu Nihei, who did Blam, which happens to be one of my favorite mangas of all time. So, you know, immediately I was like, well, I have to go and read that because Blam is like one of the greatest mangas ever written. So I thought, okay, let's see what's going down. It actually was pretty good. Actually, canon free, if you read it, see that it's very Blam. It feels very Blam in a way. Anyway, let's put on Twitter actually gone live. I have no idea if not to say Blam or Blame. That's the problem. I know it's sometimes people say Blam. That's why I always call it Blam. It's also called Blame as well. It's one of those. It's one of those ones. All right, that one to there, and also need to grab that. So today we're doing episodes 1 and 2, and hopefully, I'm guessing probably Monday will mainly be the best day, I think, and actually then probably Tuesday as well, when it comes to covering stuff like this. So hopefully I can publish a schedule or something at some stage. When I actually kind of I've got everything I need to actually know. I'll publish an actual schedule so we actually know what to cover, when to cover it. I mean. Anyway, enough talk of my inability to actually speak today. Let's get this show on the road. Actually start this thing in 3, 2, 1. Let's start this thing absolutely now. Cool. It's actually working. It's working. Because Netflix is kind of weirder when it comes to like gauging when to start the actual stream. Man's got a lizard for a head. But how do you get it? That's the real question. I miss Kaiman so much. He's great. I love him. And Nikaido as well. She is my girl. I love her so much. Honestly, it's kind of strange to see much CG on it, but it kind of works, I guess, so far at least. His reactions is like, what the fuck just happened? Man, he just got Resident Evil roomed. I'd say they've got the style of the actual manga down to an almost T, I think. I guess it kind of depends mainly on whether or not they actually do nail the like juxtaposition between 2D and CG. Because 9 out of 10 times it works in some regards. Because I've seen it with Dai. Dai does it quite often, but it actually works. And DBS Broly did it as well. I should say. They both have done CG beforehand within the middle of fights. So it's one of those things. It's doable. It's whether or not it does in theory kind of feel jarring. And thus far, I think it doesn't. It looks nice. It looks cool. I like it. So it's one of those things that I like that it doesn't kind of feel too out of the ordinary. But the main thing I actually kind of like is they actually managed to actually kind of like capture a lot of like the style itself. Because the actual manga actually is very stylish and the kind of very in a very, I guess, grim kind of like setting it actually kind of has in a way. It's kind of very vivid in its actual kind of like visual kind of fidelity. I'm saying some random words. I'm saying some random words. Oh man, that's a tough one. Oh man, I gotta agree. Gotta agree. I think I'm locking in my answer. I think I agree. I know, but yeah. Nikaido actually is just... She's queen. This sort of reminds me like a mid-2000s kind of anime now, in a way. You know, that kind of Manglobe era, where they actually were still around. Octopus Man just vibing. So actually, I wonder what they actually get to on the actual manga in this one, then. He's so cool. I love Kaiman so much. I actually can't wait till we actually see Noi as well. Noi's amazing as well. And Shin as well. It's the only series, well, actually probably one of the only series where you can't hate the bad guys, because they're actually just so goddamn good. As well as the actual protagonists. If I remember correctly, also Okuyasu is the voice actor for Kaiman as well. So is that man part man, part goddamn spider as well? Was he man spider? Was he Spider Man? That's the real question. If we did that, the anime would be over in like one episode. That'd be great. It's just like, by the way, we just found him. It's like, oh shit. Should be a series like that one day. It's just like we have to find someone and just randomly appear out of nowhere, and it's just the whole entire series just ends then. That'd be an amazing kind of just like twist. Like, by the way, yeah, we found him. So, oh. It's the boy. It's him. So effectively speaking, this is actually evolution of JoJo because JoJo Part 5 had Zipper Man in it. This show has Lizard Man in it. So there you go, evolution of JoJo. Look how cool Nikaido is, just on her goddamn skateboard with some food. I bet she actually can do a sick kickflip as well. I bet you. She can do a 180. Even maybe a 360 as well, who knows? Oh shit. It's David Cronenberg Flyman. It's the sequel to The Fly. Honestly, it actually kind of feels a lot like if David Cronenberg and David Lynch and the dude who directed The City of Lost Children got into one room together and actually made a film. This would probably be it, I think. This actually probably would be the actual results of just them in the room together. The man vibe too hard. Part of me wishes actually that part of me actually wishes also that Mappa would actually adapt Blam as well, because they actually probably could in theory do it, considering that this actually isn't too bad so far. Uh oh. The entire room gives me anxiety. Get in there, just like sounds way too terrifying. It should fall off any second. I do actually kind of appreciate as well that the actual antagonist and protagonist actually have the exact same motivation. That's kind of neat in a way as well. Bruh. Can't hurt my queen like that. It's against the law, I say. Just like, nope. Well, to say that went from worse to worse is an understatement. It actually went from worse to worse to worse to worst. I love Nikaido. She's like, yeah, I almost got turned into a spider creature, but you know what? Let's have a beer. She's got the correct. She has the correct vibe. Her vibes are on check. Oh no, vibes are on point, I should say. Good vibes all around. Good vibes. Honestly, the world is really freaking cool in the anime, actually. It looks really nice. I actually like how they actually managed to actually kind of accomplish it. It looks kind of cool. I mean, yeah, it would have been cooler if everything was in 2D, but yeah, it works. Well, it's better than most, I'd say. ABC. Does we actually get Ebisu's episode as well? Though granted, Ebisu was quite early on in the actual manga as well, if I remember. God damn. Yeah, I'd say the actual CG works. Damn, Kaiman. Must say, it's gotta be traumatizing, kind of getting like your head almost ingested by a lizard man, to actually then be revealed to actually know the dude inside there wondering what the hell's going on, and actually who actually turned him into this boy. That must be terrifying. Ew. Ew. Forget that Ebisu gets her face like complete clean off in the actual manga. God damn. That's quite disgusting when you think about it. It's the little things, as they say, that get you the most. Everything else I'm completely fine with, but there's just small things where it's like, ew. No. When it comes to horror. Well, technically speaking, it's very much it's very much in line with JoJo. He became a blood fountain. Makes sense. Everyone in JoJo actually is a blood fountain as well. Mans was just like, you know what? I'm going for a stroll. Fuck this, I'm out. Dead ass. Just went, you know what? Fuck it. It's him. Yeah! We actually see Noya's episode as well. I'm so happy. But one thing this show actually has as well, it's got good direction. Like, holy shit, this show is actually really well directed. Every shot kind of flows. It actually looks pretty freaking cool. Ain't gonna lie, it looks nice. It's one of those things that it's one of the things that map actually has going for them as well. Is like, even if some of the things kind of falter somewhat, the actual direction's normally like top notch. Because same thing Attack on Titan really as well. Attack on Titan Season 4 looks really freaking good because the direction itself is really damn great. The same thing kind of applies here. Like, the actual... It clashes slightly, but it's actually really easy to get used to as well. That's the thing with CG in this show. It's easy to get used to, but above all else, each shot kind of pops with something, so your eyes are always looking everywhere, essentially. It's not... Every single shot that could just be shot reverse shot isn't just shot reverse shot. It's much more than that. It's actually got something going on. It kind of pops with something. I actually kind of appreciate that, because again, 9 out of 10 times, stuff like this kind of falls to the wayside a lot in favor of stuff like dialogue and stuff like that. But in this case, it actually doesn't feel like that at all. It feels more in line with the fact that every single thing kind of works in tandem, and I like it. I actually think it's actually quite nice. And yeah, all the characters actually are still great as well. I love each and every one of them. They're so good. Right. It's actually going to skip the it's actually doesn't skip the actual ED on Netflix anymore. Or does it? No, I think it still does. I love how it gives you like a little bit of I love how it gives you like a little bit of like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what you learn. Right, let me go on to Twitter and actually say we're watching episode 2. But yeah, hopefully we should be able to actually hopefully stream this a bit more often and say, by the way, like one day per like week or something. It just depends on what comes out on that day. Actually, then I might be able to actually kind of squeeze in some manga and probably a visual novel as well. Who knows? Might be feeling extra spicy somehow. But anyway, I need to stretch for a second because my bones they do be old. God, it's really going to see a chiropractor or something, or someone deals with bones. Go to the bone man himself. Go to the bone man. See what's going down with my bones. But anyway, let's actually start episode 2 in 3, 2, 1. So episode 2 absolutely now. Well, that's good timing by me actually. That's straight on the episode. But yeah, what's strange about this show more than anything is the fact that like all the characters are amazing. So so practically speaking, there's no like centralized antagonist. Each character actually is great. That you kind of just like them all, which is rare. It sometimes happens, but it's rare. But yeah, I mean, it does honestly feel a lot like if, as I said beforehand, if like David Cronenberg, David Lynch, and Johnette, I think his name is, if I remember correctly, the guy who directed City of Lost Children. I can't remember his name. Hold on a second. Let me find it. Jean-Pierre Jeunet. That's it. Jean-Pierre Jeunet. Well, also directed Amelie as well, but you know what I mean. Him, and also, who's the third person? No, it was a third person. If all of them got into one room together and actually went, you know what, lads, we're making a film or a TV show, it's what Dorohedoro would actually probably turn out to be. Because it does have a lot of David Cronenberg, it has a lot of City of Lost Children / Amelie kind of like feeling of the world itself as well. And also it kind of feels a lot like David Lynch as well, to an extent as well. It just has all those kind of feelings to it. I actually kind of like it. And again, they actually managed to translate the actual world itself pretty damn well to the actual anime itself. It looks really freaking good. Again, yeah, I kind of would have liked it all to be 2D, but it does in fact work. More than I expected it to work. So I appreciate what they did with the show. It's different. I actually kind of like it because it is, in its own way, kind of a very different manga. It's not really your typical kind of show, or manga, for that matter, as well. It's very different. it just makes sense as well because the end of Blam is very City of Lost Children as well. That very kind of like French New Wave kind of feeling. So it works. Man, she's so amazing. I love her. Honestly, it's just like Nikaida's like just top tier. Man's got done by a lizard man himself. Honestly, he do be living. He do be living, though, old Kaiman. He do be living. God damn. But Noi is also amazing as well. I love her as well. I love Noi. Not just because she also is voiced by my favorite voice actresses as well, which does have she does have the benefit of being voiced by Yu Kobayashi as well, who is Queen. It's weird because the actual world itself is quite like, what's the word? It's quite grim in presentation and feeling and everything like that. But it doesn't ever feel like it's a grim kind of dark world. It kind of feels very lively and kind of like vibrant and like full of life for some reason. Like the characters actually populate the world actually kind of make it seem as actually is kind of like something more than just, by the way, it's kind of dark and scary. That's why comparison for Jeanette's film came in, because Jeanette's film, Jeanette, if I remember correctly, the second name is, feels a lot like that. Like it's a very kind of like dystopian, kind of like scary feeling world, but it doesn't really feel like that in like the feeling itself. The presentation versus who populates, it's very different, and it works for that reason. So I have become the trash man. Oh man, it's like it's the complete metamorphosis of Danny DeVito's character from Always Sunny. it's the metamorphosis of Frank. He is a trash man. He became a trash man. Wasn't like all of them into like I suppose in Slipknot really heavily referenced in this show as well, weren't they? If I remember correctly. At least in the manga, if I remember correctly. I used to remember seeing Slipknot posters. Everyone's got really bad luck with trash today. Oh man, everyone's got really bad luck with it. Christ, the bicycle is bright. Christ. My screen isn't that bright to actually be that bright in general, but God, that was bright. Play BC. She's just kind of vibing the entire time. Ah, the evolution of Bruno Bucciarati. The evolution was to become was not to wear zips, was to become zips. Evidently, his whole entire anime is just like one massive metamorphosis for most characters in media. That's the twist of it all. An attempt was actually made. Holy moly. Yes. I do actually love Shin and Noi as well. They're both great. It's really pouring down outside. I have no idea I actually can hear it, but it's really raining outside. It's really loud. Kind of terrifying when you think about it. Kind of terrifying. Holy fuck. Jesus. I know it's not real, Nikita, but holy moly. In the wise words, my god. Oh shit. It's not good. So where's the end of volume 1 if I remember correctly? Yeah, it is the end of volume 1. Man, she's the coolest. As said, she actually probably could do some sick kick flips on that skateboard. Told you. Did tell you. Did she just kick man's eye out? Yeah. What do you know? She kicked man's eye out. Say the word correctly. She just took the man's like top of his head off. Well, that was convenient. That was almost way too convenient. It's like, well, I want to ask him the acupuncture thing. It's like, oh shit. It do be a naked dude inside the guy's mouth. That's not nice. I guess pretty good's not 100% though, bro. I swear lizards molt, don't they? If I remember. At least they shed a skin if I remember correctly. At least one of the reptiles do. I swear all reptiles do. I'm actually very glad to actually hear you were. I'm actually hoping you actually are enjoying it. Oh, still a good episode. Really good episode overall, I must say. Yeah, I mean, this show just kind of... This show's like... it's the weirdest like feeling in the universe. It doesn't feel like anything else you probably ever watched in your life. Because it just kind of... The world, the way it presents it, and then kind of everything that's going on, you kind of think you're getting like a very like dark, very grim, very... like horror-infused exploration of getting back your humanity in the way. No, it's just a bunch of dudes, and people vibing. It's the whole entire manga, and well, I guess the whole entire anime at this point, just vibing. I just want to get my face back, and that's about it. It's just gonna vibe. That's what's whole entire it's what's the whole entire show is so far. It's actually great because of it. I love it. I love the feeling it kind of gives you, because it doesn't ever kind of feel like it's, again, dark, depressing, and scary. It does feel like that to an extent because of the way it presents it, but then as you go deeper and deeper into the show itself, it kind of opens up to be a lot more colourful, a lot more kind of vibrant, a lot more interesting because of it, and I actually kind of like that. It's probably one of the most interesting things this show does. Watch episode 3 as well, I think. Watch episode 3 as well. Right, let's pause that. Let's reset that. Let's actually then put on YouTube, on Twitter, actually streaming. Right, I do believe that we should be good to go. We certainly are. So, as I always say, let's actually continuing on our adventure through Dorohedoro. It starts the thing again in 3, 2, 1. It starts the thing absolutely now. Oh shit, legit. Stealth Terminators? I like that. It kind of feels a lot like, again, it feels like it's very influenced by a lot of like, don't ever skip the intro, Netflix. Disgusting. Disgusting. I can tell there's a lot of influences in this actual manga as well. Like, Kyohei Ishida actually was influenced by a lot. It actually kind of feels nice because it actually has its own spin on everything as well. It's not just like, oh yeah, by the way, here's a bunch of influences. No, it has its own spin on everything as well. It actually kind of feels good. As I said beforehand, it has that Jeanette feeling of like the world being very scary, but then the way it kind of begins to articulate itself becomes a lot more like vibrant, a lot more interesting, a lot more kind of like, what's going on here? It kind of has that very David Lynch like level surrealism to it as well, to an extent as well. Cronenberg level of like body horror. And yeah, I must say, it falls a lot in line with actually the end of Blam as well, because the end of Blam is very, very Jeanette as well for some reason. But again, I kind of like it. Also, now we kind of get like a Night of the Living Dead kind of feeling as well. It's also this is actually probably one of the best horror animes that isn't strictly a horror anime that I've probably seen in quite a long time. Because again, it's rare whenever you see like a horror anime that is one good and two actual two that is actually what's it called? What's the word? That actually is called that actually is good or vibrant or anything like that or interesting. It actually has it all and actually kind of meshes a bunch of other genres along with it. I actually kind of like it. I say that quite often, but it's true. She got him there. She got him there. I'd say that was actually quite nicely done, to be honest. So I just said Hayashida and Dorohedoro on the gravestone just then as well. Kind of interesting when you think about it, like with what's going on here. So this happens like quite often. It's just that's kind of cool. Living Dead Day. Uh-oh. Man's got overwhelmed. The one thing you don't do in horror movies or anything is actually get overwhelmed. Like that one group did in that anime yesterday. It's like I still can't go over that at all. I'm still so pissed about that whole entire anime. I wonder if that was reference Resident Evil. Probably isn't, but just the way the actual zombie was like eating and it just looks up as well. It feels a lot like the opening to Resident Evil. Not the opening, but the first zombie you actually meet. The real question is, does he actually turn into a zombie or does he turn into a lizard zombie? That's the real question. Uh-oh. Zombie's pretty strong, to be honest. Oh. Ibisu got her face completely taken off clean, then got and then got turned into a zombie. Where Ibisu? God damn. God damn. So yeah, by the way, thanks for kicking me. It actually made my inside shake, and it just burst out a load of blood. God damn. Christ. I love that everyone's kind of like having their own sense of crisis, and then just Ibisu is just trying, trying to eat someone. Basically the world from Pinocchio, not the world from God damn, I can't speak. It's like the Pinocchio world in Kingdom Hearts, or is it Lord Jabu Jabu from Ocarina of Time as well? Ooh, ooh. Either that or she turns into a Titan. One of the two. One of the two. Just like shit. I remember I've got a knife in there still. Well, it's convenient when you think about it. The zombies just die in sunlight. They're basically vampires then, almost at the same time. They're vampire zombies. Twice on the clock when it comes to vampire zombies, I guess. Because yesterday we actually had vampire zombies. Today we have vampire zombies. Well, he laughed. In the end. Just me in my head. Just me in my head. See, that's either the person who actually turned him into a actual lizard man, or it's actually Kamui from the Silver Case. One of the two. Man, everyone gets essential in the morning when you think about it. But nope, he actually started walking around. Where it might rewrite history. Well, ain't that kind of scary? Trying to work on autopsy and boom, the power goes. Oh shit, is that reverse dolly zoom? Is there quite often in anime the use of reverse dolly zooms and not actually dolly zooms themselves? Actually, it's kind of interesting. I don't see that very often in film. I see it more often in anime, actually. Granted, I don't remember the last time I even seen a dolly. I actually can't remember the last time I actually saw a dolly zoom in film either. That's what you hope. Let's hope the guy's actually not Chocolata from JoJo. It's the camera ghost. It's the camera ghost. Huh. Hoverboards. Hover motorbikes, I should really say. That transform, no less. I'm sorry, actually, it's a broom. Man, this show is great. This show is really good. I love it. It's mainly because that it just doesn't feel like just doesn't feel like anything. Like in essence, if you told me this was a horror anime, I would have said, bro, this ain't a horror anime at all. Because it doesn't really. It feels like a slice of life in a way. You don't ever feel like you're kind of scared or anything. You just kind of like you're just vibing along with them. And I kind of like that tone. It just doesn't feel like anything else that actually could ever exist. Because again, it's hard to kind of pull off horror, but it's also then hard to pull off the idea of actually like, in a way, not being directly horror, like kind of being horror influenced, horror infused, but then actually not actually always leaning upon the concept of horror itself. But it's done here beautifully, actually. The idea of actually how everything kind of meshes together actually doesn't work really well. And I love it. It's one of those things that this show did an amazing job actually kind of conveying that feeling of not always kind of feeling on edge, always kind of feeling like you're kind of calm, kind of vibing along with everyone. And yeah, I actually kind of like that actually was a massive like homage or like just a feeling of that era of filmmaking as well. Because again, it feels a lot like in anime form, not too sure, I've got to go back and read a lot of the manga. But in anime form, it feels a lot like a love letter to a lot of horror from, like, yesteryear. I like that. I mean, Right, we'll leave it there for today, I think. What I will do is probably figure out a schedule to actually include this in somehow. But yeah, I mean, this show's great. This show's fantastic. It's one of those ones that, again, I wasn't expecting anything different because Dorohedoro feels a lot like a show that Mappa actually probably would actually do really well, because Mappa's a very like, to a degree, a very offbeat kind of studio. They remind me a lot of Geno Studio as well. Geno Studio and Mappa are probably two people actually probably could in theory like pull this off, because both of them are very kind of not typical. They're very like different in that kind of the shows they tend to actually kind of produce and actually then release. It's not every single one of their shows they do is always exactly the same. Like, it's always just something different about Mappa's shows. Same thing with Geno Studio as well. But yeah, I mean, I love the feeling. I just can't get enough of actually like just witnessing how they actually pull off the world, and actually how they translate a lot of the actual like feeling of ease and actually stuff like that in a manga to anime, but it kind of just it personifies even more because in color it looks amazing. This whole entire world is so vibrant. It kind of puts you at ease, a feeling that wouldn't actually otherwise work because of the actual context behind what was actually going on here. Because again, the whole entire world itself is scary. It's very like it's like not non-friendly, but kind of like you just don't know who you can trust and stuff like that. But you don't ever feel that, because what it does do in first impressions is then kind of altered once the actual show progresses, and actually doesn't really work to its advantage. It kind of it takes a lot of it's a lot of what we know to be scary actually makes it kind of feel more known. It's the reverse of normal horror, because normal horror is taking the known and making it unknown. But for some reason, this show, it takes what is unknown and makes it known to us. It makes it kind of feel like as if we're kind of safe, along with Nikaido and Kaiman as well. And I think what this show does beautifully as well, because again, Japanese horror does lean upon the idea of like the turning the known to the unknown, especially safe places that we otherwise associate with being safe. But here it's like it's on its head essentially. It's like every single convention of horror is basically on its head, because it becomes a slice of life show. It becomes an action show. It becomes a lot of other things that doesn't always typically fall into the umbrella of horror. The action doesn't really fall into the umbrella of horror, but not to the same degree. But it works, I think. It works really well. It's one of the ones. It's probably one of the strongest, I'd say, uses of like multi-genre I've probably seen in quite a while. Because again, it's not strictly a horror anime. It's nothing like that at all. It's actually a lot of different things that really mesh together. And yeah, I mean, again, not even the best horror filmmakers actually can really pull this off. It's very hard to kind of pull off the idea of actually being horror, but then actually being something a lot more than just that. But it's commendable. The direction's fantastic, I must say. It's actually really, really, really great. Everything about the show is it's brilliant. Like, the characters actually are amazing. Like, even the antagonists, though technically speaking there really isn't one, but the antagonists themselves are actually kind of great. You can't actually hate them. Kaiman and Nikaido are actually amazing. I love them. And yeah, I mean, I just can't get enough of this world as well. It's just so interesting. Also kind of like that both the protagonists and the kind of antagonists themselves have both the exact same kind of motivation. And I kind of like that, even though there's a lot more going on, but still, the core motivation is still there to actually find out who does the Kaiman on both sides. I like that. It's actually quite interesting. But anyway, as said, actually we'll probably figure out a schedule to actually include us into, possibly Monday and Tuesday, depending on what happens. I gotta see what actually is premiering on both days for the rest of the season. And then hopefully maybe Friday or Thursday as well. Wednesday it's maybe just ReZero, I have no idea. I think Thursday is Skate the Infinity Friday, or is it just Promise Neverland on Thursday as well? I have to figure it out. But anyway, I'll squeeze this in somewhere, and actually along with, I think what else I probably will cover as well. Like in essence, I've got to do one more poll on both YouTube and Twitter to actually kind of deduce what manga to actually cover first as well this year. So do my look out for that. I will actually probably run the poll tomorrow, hopefully, if all should go well. But till then, I have indeed been the driver. Actually, as always, say the words correctly, Jesus Christ. As always, goshoujo arigatou gozaimasu. Boku no doro wo moshiroi to omotara ine ya channel登録をお願いします. So as always, actually have enjoyed the stream in Dune 3, leave a like, because indeed it's been quite a bit. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire stream in Dune 3, leave a sub, because indeed it's been quite a bit as well. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire stream in Dune 3, follow me on Twitter, or join Discord as well, because both of you help me quite a lot, and both will then tell you when the streams are live and any other streams I do as well. Until next time, some more Dorohedoro. See you guys later. Bye for now.